What's happening, YouTube? Another moment, another walk in the morning while I'm getting unloaded. Another trying situation, as usual. The Matrix always trying to get your goat, and I pray to God that you don't allow it. So on and so forth. But I've been doing some self-reflecting, and I've been doing some deep self-reflecting on a lot of things. I have a lot of people that are in my background that have been for a long period of time. It's including my own family. I've caught them red-handed bunch of times, from my own mother memorizing my social and using it, and then I catch her getting cards in my name, and I've caught her with memorizing my birthday and my social, and I cancel the card, and then I didn't say anything. I just watched it, and I tracked the mail, and then she opens another card and tries to get it again after I canceled one. And this has been going on for my whole life. Seriously, since before I even left high school. And people opening accounts and linking it to my email to fill up my junk email, and just all kinds of weird shit. It's creepy. But, ooh, big ass grasshopper. You motherfuckers bite hard. Praying mantis. My bad. But I was taking into consideration, these people are just demon-possessed hive minders. But now that I think about it, there's a lot of hive-mindedness that when I remove myself from the midst of these demon dens and these snake pits, that's when the isolation happened. That's when the weird judgment happened. And that's when all the weird shit happened. The one account that I deleted that I never created was some weird classmate shit. My mom has this weird fetish of trying to compare my life and create my life under hers. You didn't make any better decisions, and you're stupid for not listening to me, and even though you made smart decisions, I'll find a way to make you, you know what I mean? Just to justify her shitty life, she has to make everybody else's life shittier. And she's been successful in everybody else's, but I've been a headache. And with that, I noticed, but with that being said, I noticed that the picture from that was taken from I don't know, when I was 20, barely 20. Not much difference other than more facial hair and shit in a few years on me. But the picture reminded me, pictures bring me back about moments. And a lot of women like to do moment flashbacks. And since part of the hive mind attack is really weird, bitter women, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? What was that time like? Okay, I wasn't aware of the family sabotage, all the way around. I wasn't aware of familiar, family-friendly sabotage all the way around. People that say they're friends, they're just weed-smoking, weird-ass, alcoholic-addicted motherfuckers, or just bullshitters that dick around with their life. And there's still people like that today. I just disregard all that. It's better to be alone. It's better to be with God and pray and cultivate yourself and your spirit than to ever be around these losers. And no hate to you. I mean, everybody has their own life journey. But I'm realizing it's okay, to be accepted, you have to be a degenerate of some sort. And it's kind of terrible when I notice that. And I'm as soon as I stop being a degenerate, as soon as I refuse to gossip, joke, and talk about other people, as soon as I stop selling drugs, as soon as I stop drinking, or I stopped drinking a long time ago, as soon as I stop smoking, as soon as I stop wasting my time, as soon as I wanted to read more and do more and be more, that was a problem. And even though when you set the intention, the clashes of universes happen. I set the attention way back. And actually in high school, but they still had a grip on me. And this is how pervasive this destructive system is. All right. I got out, I had an idea, and then the family, friends, and everything pulls you in all different directions. When you exclude one successfully, they pull back because they're all linked. And I figured this out. It took me a while to figure out they're all deeply, super deep. Like, there's a one moment, like in, like, say, 2008, that they all spazzed out. Everybody, simultaneously. The most weirdest shit for the longest period of time. Because I started catching on to, like, how if I pray and I stick close to godly things, that I was getting the most pushback ever. And if I could get it, I'll take it. I'll take the L where I can take the L. Okay, from a loser, cool. But how come you hate me more when I focus on God? Like, it's like you hate me the most. Like, when I focus on godly things. When I hold up laws, statutes, and commandments, I've never been hated more than that in my life. Ever. So, it really dawned on me we're in a spiritual battle. I was like, what? And I'm not speaking about some sci-fi hypothetical bullshit either. This is actually real. You will see the divide. And I say for anybody that's wanting to understand what side they stand on, if you're ballsy enough, focus on God for a week. See how many people you lose. See how many things go crazy. Stand by what the Bible says, even just a little bit, and watch how people flip on you. Watch how things flip on you. But most people won't. And I know this, because I wouldn't have such a crazy pushback. And most people need to be accepted. Most people need to be catered for and cared for by the world and taken care of. Because they feared that their destruction would come. Yet, famous devil worshippers have died all before me. And I am still here making a video explaining the situation. I don't know. I don't know. But that's neither here or there. Still grateful for all the good things. But as I was reflecting on that quick moment when I was deleting that account, that I realized, I'm like, oh, there you go, close the exercise ring. I realized, like, man, I went from super cool to a loser in a flash as soon as I decided to do good for myself in a conscious manner. And then I realized, like, damn, I've always had enemies when I was super cool. And a lot of things flashed back to me. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of people that were asleep. Like, there's women that had crushes on me that explained it and all that. And like, there's a lot of women that were asleep that are being consumed by the same matrix. There's a lot of people, dudes that are asleep, that are being consumed by the same matrix. And you can't do shit to wake them up. I'm like, hey, man, you have to come to a personal self-experience that this is a spiritual thing. And spiritual is deep. Just watch how you keep your mood and how people flip out. Like every job, I keep my energy right, and people are angry because I'm happy. And then people are happy because I'm angry. People are and delighted when I'm down, and then vice versa. When I'm going up emotionally, people are really down in the gutters. Not all, like on the average, depending on what place and what area, because it's like spiritual rings of places, like places that are very popular in the U.S., highly condensed, where people can feed off each other's energy like vampire leeches. There's a lot of people that get grumpy in one group. I can go to like one store and everybody's just doing nothing and hive-minded, and they all feel angst when I'm in a good joy mood. And then I go to another store, literally 2 blocks down. Everybody's great, communicative, loving, It's just a weird energy. It's a weird. And the thing is, the whole purpose of the hive mind is to make you believe that not only they're everywhere, but they're overpowering. If they're everywhere, even though there's a huge community of them, they would just come out in the open and expose it. But other people like me would all of a sudden wake up all at the same time. Then, who the fuck would they feed off of? Who would they energetically feed off of? Bad fruit falls off and dies by itself. And I've seen that from the groups that I've cut myself away from. As soon as I did it, eventually, if not years, if not a year, a few months, that started happening. I say every group. So I'm under the suspicion that if I just remove my energy, that alone can work magic. Just remove it. Remove all care for all negative things. It's hard to explain, and this is probably why I was never taught on it. Because there's a lot of abusers and manipulators out there. Starting from my own family. And they try to use my energy to create their own destiny. And that's probably why they gave me a false vision of God, a false view of God, so they can even manipulate it more. And I'm even more hated when I turn to the source, because they, being the demons and devils that they actually are, and I'm not saying this because they're, personal reasons. I'm really saying it because they can't go to God. Like, they're so deranged, they're so demented, they're so fucked that God's gonna tell them to get the fuck away. And to full circle this whole thing, I thought to myself, I was like, if God don't fuck with you, and God is forgiving and loving and gracious and great, all the great things I can ever imagine, why do I tolerate you? That's not to saying being harsh or being like these weird, sick motherfuckers, but why do I give you space? Why do I even give you any reaction to my emotion? Why do I give you any space in my mind? Why do I even give you a second thought when God don't fuck with you? Like God has shown me grace even when the world has fucked me. But even for people that are even greatest spots in the world, and God has removed their hand, they're fucked. And I haven't been grateful enough to understand that until now. I'm like, oh. Like, I just needed to sit down and reflect. It was like, if God gives me grace every single day and breaks it and paths to walk on and a strong foundation, and you have everything and God doesn't, and you're falling apart, and I continue giving you grace, it's going to limit my blessings. It's going to limit my sanity. It's going to limit my energy. That's where my energy's been going. And of course they're going to pull back because I'm pulling back now. It's like, oh, okay, well, let's try to get anything. Like, their whole sources, they can't do anything positive to you. Like, a great way, and I figured this out from young, like real young, in single digits. A great way to identify who's a demon and who's not. I didn't know demons actually existed on that level, this seriously. But I knew something was different between certain people. Like, certain people aren't people. And I went to the point of, like, since it's my natural state to be a loving person, let me be loving to certain people. And certain people are disgusted by genuine love. It's not the fact of loving like sexual or anything, just genuine loving things. Like, I'm holding the door for you. You're disgusted. I do things in nice favor without any need for repercussions or any, not just being nice, but literally just generally being loving. Like, no second thought to it. People that are not only disgusted but don't know how to act it's not like they're not only disgusted from it, or not disgusted, they don't know how to accept it. And it's not because they're damaged, it's just that it doesn't feel right. Like anything that isn't based in hatred doesn't feel right to them. But they feel comfortable quickly to talk about somebody and hate on somebody. But it's here. Even that something that doesn't have to do with me. They don't know how to take a compliment. They can't talk good about themselves, not even the least. They can't think positive, even about themselves, not even about anybody else. You're dealing with a demon. You're dealing with demon oppression, or you're dealing with actual demon inside that person. And they'll say, oh, that spirit woo-woo shit is crazy. That's the same thing thieves say when they steal your shit. I ain't see your shit, nigga. I should be there. I don't know, man. I just came here around the corner and shit. You know that other bullshit they have? You know how niggas be doing? Same shit. You can't expect the truth from a liar. You can't expect godly principles, righteousness from a demon. But these things, they try to keep you from learning. And they try to put a barrier on it. Like, okay, you're supposed to act and move this way to be righteous, to keep you from stepping closer to God. God has used the worst to prove an example that he loves you. And he's made them the greatest just by his grace and his love. So anybody and everybody can come to him. Almost. There's people that are demons, obviously. And God just doesn't fuck with these people. Rightfully so. I'm kind of figuring it out. It's not my portion or my place to judge these people. But I don't know, man. I try not to focus on other people. I recommend everybody else not try to focus on their energy pulling ways. By focusing on other people, you give that massive opportunity and outside things to pull on your energy. And you focus on great, good things, and even more importantly, God and godly things. You leave very little room for the text to flourish. Like if I'm too busy working on greatness within me and on me and around me, you can only do so much to try to get my attention. And it'll show face. When I interact with you, I'm gonna give you love. You came on a mission to try to tear me down. So you have to work immediately, because as soon as I get wind I'm being distracted, which is only gonna be in a short amount of time, I'm gonna get right back to work. The devil doesn't have much time to operate, so he can't operate fully. That's why he needs you distracted. If he could delay you and play you, he can figure out something to get into you. That's like setting up chess moves. But if it's simplified, like, all right, this is a standoff. I realize this is a standoff all of a sudden. You're gonna have to back down, because I'm leaving no room for unrighteousness. This is just where you're gonna have to stand at it. And he's gonna run, because God's gonna be having your back and your front. But if you play the games of, I'm gonna argue with you, I'm gonna be distracted, I'm gonna take my eyes off the greater good of what I'm working for, step by step, or in the grand scheme of things. If I'm gonna take my eyes away from God's promises and place them on a loser, and place them on people that, trust me, I'm speaking from example of seeing people that have not, if not losing their lives in the sense of still being alive, but having nothing to show for it, but the same typical brainwashed bullshit that every other average person does. And I mean, if you want the average life of an average person, especially in this economy and the way things going, I still have love for you, and I still pray that God reaches you, because it's not only about the physical things, but at the end of the day, if you leave room for the devil to attack you, that's foolish, because we're in a spiritual battle. And lastly, on the final loop of the circle, I noticed that the devil attacks everybody different levels on their capabilities. I had family, friends, jobs, pretty much everything attacking me simultaneously, from as early as possible. And still, I'm here. And it took me a while they had to hide in the shadows. But it took me a while to realize what was going on. And now that I realize, all shit has hit the fan. And every time I come to a deeper realization, there's always a world event going on. 2008, when I realized it was like the spiritual world is gigantic and worldwide, and it's not just me, that's when shit got crazy. 2012, shit got a little bit more crazy for me. 2014, and then 2016, 17, shortly before COVID shit, when they were pretty much priming it up. And it's a grand scheme. I'm not gonna go into details on this, and I'm gonna wait to go into more details on it. You can see how that every single chosen person is important and plays a major factor and key worldwide. But I'm gonna wait until I can expose all the shit and future blessings are basically past. So I won't have to be playing any extra hard fighting games while trying to document the fuckery that I'm dealing with. Waiting to get unloaded right now anyways as we speak. And I don't know. Things are looking up. Things are really looking up. And all I had to do is identify fuck people and get them away from me. And demon influenced people and get them away from me. And then my life exponentially gets better and better and better. I don't know. Progression. Either way, thanks for hearing me chat and blabber on. Like, subscribe. Till next time.